up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of our resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell, of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I was born in the Dublin street where the lion runs to beat, and the lovely English people walked all the Zulu say, have nice bows and arrows. Of how brave you face one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened all the natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lakes of Gilshandar. And let us hear you tell how you stand the brave Parnell and taught them well and truly persecuted. Where are the stares and jeers that you proudly let us hear when our heroes of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway from the green and lovely lakes of Gilshandar.
Hello there, hello there, hello there. How are we all, chat? I'm not amazing, in all honesty, but you know what? Life goes on. Why is the chat not working? Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. Okay, I don't know why that wasn't doing stuff. Anyway, yes. Welcoming one and all. How have we been? What have we been up to? I went to the football earlier today. I went to see Birmingham City play Bristol City in an exciting 2-2 draw. I won't go into the implications of it because, like, who the fuck cares? None of you care. But suffice it to say, it was an emotional experience for those who either new here or don't remember or whatever. My friend John passed away in December, just before Christmas, and he was a big Birmingham City fan as well, and this is the first season without him, of course, and yeah, so I mean, even though technically the season for us started last weekend, it was away, so it didn't quite feel real as such, and on the drive to the game today, I did have a little cry. I miss my friend. It was an emotional one, chap. You know? But yeah, there we go. Let's not get bogged down in it though, chat, shall we? Let's live while we're alive.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Thank you, Gennaro, for stamping all over that delicate moment of me pouring my heart out. Jesus Christ. You know what, actually, that was perfect. Yeah, that got me out of a little funk there. That was nice. I needed a laugh. Absolutely wonderful. Yes. Hello there, everybody. Yeah. So yeah, I went to the football, and of course, it was the start of the Premier League season as well, which we'll get into in just a second. We won't look at football as such, just tangential. Yeah, that's the word, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, the Canada-US trade story. Yeah, they've got beef about beef, I'm led to believe. Anyway, yes. Thank you to who made the noises happen. Thank you, Carl Brown, with a couple of gifties. Much love to you, my friend. Thank you to Black Bartsky for resubscribing. Much love to you, my friend. We're on a hype train on the YouTubes. No, not on YouTube, on Twitch. If we get to level 2 of the hype train, I won't do anything. I'm not even going to pretend to do a fingering today. I'm just going to say I will be grateful. Thank you. Yeah. You'll be rooting for Brum as a second team. Well, thank you. Yeah. Much love. I could do with that shirt. I'm sure you could print it. Would you have it in German or in English? And there is only one answer that's correct to that, by the way. Just saying. You know. Anyway, yes. Hey, hello, Ross Ed. I saw that you followed yesterday, even though I didn't stream yesterday, which is very confusing, but much love to you. Actually, it's not that confusing, but it's, you know, a little unusual. Anyway, much love to you. Welcome in. Welcome to the Kevolution. Yes. Okay. So we do have some politics stuff to do afterwards, but I did, as it's the start of the Premier League football season today, I wanted to revisit a certain thing from last season. You may remember this young gentleman. Boop. The United Strand. He's a Manchester United fan who has been growing his hair until Manchester United win 5 games in a row. It hasn't gone well for him, or indeed his barber. It's been a long time. It's been well over a year now, and his hair is big. It's tied back a bit, so you can't see the full mane. But he had something of a quandary going into this season about that particular streak that he was seeking.
Been ignoring this, but I've got more and more comments recently, so I need your opinion. Man United finished the season last season by winning their last 2 games against Nottingham Forest and Brighton. Now, I don't count pre-season games, only competitive games, so I was planning to carry that over, start on 2 out of 5, and hope Man United win their first 3 games of the season. I made a video a while ago saying that the opening fixtures seem winnable and that the haircut is coming soon. But I've had loads of comments since saying that's cheating and it should start fresh from 0 for the new season. To be honest, I first thought, yeah, whatever, I'm starting from 2 out of 5 anyway. But I've had more and more comments say this.
So he was in a quandary. Does the previous 2 wins from the previous season carry over? So if they won the first 3 this year, would that be 5 in a row? You know, it was a quandary for the poor lad. Do many teams win 5 games in a row? Roughly speaking, half of the league, on average, wins 5 games in a row during the Premier League season. Sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it might only be 8. Sometimes it might be 11 or 12 even. But usually it's somewhere in the middle, so around about 9 or 10 teams per year. And obviously most of them are in the top half of the league because they win lots more games. That's, you know, the general gist of it. But even though they finished 3rd in the league, they did not win 5 in a row. But the thing is, right, he was in that quandary. Do the previous 2 games count or not? And thankfully, his team made that choice for him. Playing against newly promoted Hull City, who haven't been in the Premier League since 2017.
Lamans, and now they have a corner. Hull City whip one into the near stick. It's headed back and was goal. Fucking hell! Lamans makes an incredible stop, but then they pounced on the rebound. It wasn't it. It's 1-0 Hull. Come on, boys, you bloody losers! Still on holiday, aren't they? Goodness me, look at Harry Maguire spade his hand in a black eye for when he had a fight with a Mykonos police officer. Look at him for Pete's sake. What sort of defending's that as well? I'd rather have Billy Brown's big face at the back. Who was there? Oh, nobody's got anything anywhere near them. They've got so much space every shot.
It is very funny that they've spent all that money on the midfield. At the back they had fucking Maguire and Shaw. Like it was 2016, not 2026. Ridiculous.
The initial chance saved well by Lamans. Who's picking that twat up back stick? And then the rebound. Who's not? Scrappy Maguire and go. How slow are you to react? Mate, we've got to dip in the transfer window for a top centre back this window. It's all well and good buying the midfielders and having the striking options we got, etc. The forward players, but the defence is ropey as you like.
What the hell is it Bumo doing? Wake up, bro. Hull City with a corner. Head on! Oh my god! Ah! Fuck! Wow! I just knew it, man!
Like, I thought I'd get sick of it. I thought after a while I'd get sick of Man United losing and their fans being angry about it. This will never ever, as a person who grew up hating them because they won everything, this never gets old. I love it. I could watch this forever. It's fucking beautiful. This is like You know, in What We Do in the Shadows, Colin Robinson lives off of like boredom and mundanity. That's how he gets his power. This is how I get my power. These people's anger. These people's anger and disgust fuel me.
I just knew it!
I'm a twat vampire. I feast on twats.
Oh. Man! That could have all been prevented!
To be fair, this one is from Manchester. The previous one, very much not.
It could have been prevented! Sleeping!
Don't think he's going to need to go to the barbers anytime soon,
What are we
the lad,
doing
is it?
sleeping already? Look at that defending, bro! Set piece! Flicked on, where's everyone? Where's everyone? Look at Bemo there, man, sleeping! We're all sleeping! I know it's early, but I'm flipping hell, mate!
Oh, that's a great save. Absolutely brilliant save, that. Because it's going in. It's going. It's not even a shot. It's a cross. That is a cross that's creeping in at the near post. Chance. Must be. Yes, is it? Yes! Hull 1-0 baby, yes! Semi Ajayi! Yes! 1-0!
Oh, this one is a fan of somebody else, apparently. Okay.
Have that! Have that! Yes! Go on! Where are you now, United? Yes! Hull in front! Bang! Oh, yes! That's what we wanted! Unbelievable stuff, Jeff.
Here for Hull. Plenty of height.
Oh, this twat who's just taken millions from fucking Phil Neville, not Phil Neville, from Gary Neville, hasn't he? To be on a podcast with Wayne Rooney. God almighty. Another one not from Manchester.
In United's centre-back positions. Obviously no Casemiro anymore. Oh, no! No! Oh, we didn't want that to happen. Hull have scored. Hull have scored first. It's from a corner. Le Mans, I was about to say what a great save by Le Mans. And now I'm saying we are 1-0 down from a corner. Ajayi. We did not want that. We did not want that.
He's so Partridge. He's so Partridge.
Shop non-billionaire Jeffs.
I'm Jeff.
What?
Let's see.
So you don't...
My name is Jeff.
Stay cool and danger-free with new Head and Shoulders.
That's
an energetic.
That's a cultural reference. I think this one's definitely from Manchester. Yeah.
Winger, you can go get that from the French league for 2 million. Simple as. Preston and Hull City have taken a lead! Hull City are 1-0 up, set piece again, ole ole! And it's Ajayi who scores from the corner. Man United set piece defending absolutely dreadful.
Owns Man United. Bro, Messi's like having temper tantrums in the MLS and getting yellow cards for slapping man. And did that go in? Yeah, we're down 1-0, dude. We are so ass, man. We are so ass. I was trying to be positive for the lead up to the season. This is why I didn't even make any videos like really talking about it, because in the back of my mind, I knew that was gonna happen because the defense sucks.
Hull, you don't have a quarter. Get this in the box. Come on, Hull. Ball to the box. Front pull. Header. Back pull. Back belly. Off the line. Oh my God, they're winning. Hull are winning. Hull are winning. Oh my God. Hull are winning. Hull are winning.
Target, thinking we're getting a foothold. Hull have come back and hit us hard.
Okay, so this is just like young. This is young Klopp. This is Jurgen Klopp when he was like 23, right? Surely. Don't tell me you don't fucking see the resemblance.
Hammond is having to make decent saves here. First corner of the game comes in, and it's in dangerously, and it's going to be a goal. United have 3 attempts to clear it. Lammers makes another save from a set piece. United have a goal down. Ajayi scored. I feel sorry for Lammons at the moment. His defence is non-existent. Cross comes in, near post flick on. The United's reaction times are absolutely atrocious in defence at the moment.
Yeah, to be fair, Jurgen Klopp's English is better than that guy. Definitely.
This is the initiative. Ball in. Flick on! Yeah! Yeah! No! Yes! It's a tie! It's 1-0 Hull City! Get in there! 1-0 to the Hull! Yes!
Corner comes in. I mean, look, if you keep trying and
I'm just saying her anger is hot. I'm just like it. I won't say any more. If I speak, I will get into trouble.
trying, somebody's gonna make a mistake! How bad is that? How bad is that? That is so bad!
It's quite bad.
Oh my word, how many warnings do you need? Wake up! Wake up! What is that?
Whole corner.
Remember Zappacosta did the same thing.
Oh, come on!
Oh,
yes!
Yes!
Okay, that's fair enough, but like, as a Chelsea fan, be happy that you were like winners of the European Cup and the Premier League and blah blah blah. Don't get a World Champions fucking shithouse trophy shirt at the back there. Oh, we got handed in a meaningless trophy by Donald Trump, a rapist nonce boy. Like, don't be what? Ugh, stinky.
Oh.
Let's go!
Bernie is absolutely causing problems for United.
A good ball in. Is that in? 1-0. Oh, hey, bro, already. Bro, typical United, bro. Typical United. Bro, and I said before the game, and you man can go back and see it, I said, this is the kind of game United go 1-0 down in.
Oh, yeah, Spurs it up in the most Spursy way. You love to see it. Spent how much did they like? Well over like £250 million on players, and they were fucking dreadful. Not only did they get beaten 3-0, it should have been 4 or 5. Literally, Brentford missed a penalty, and they got outplayed. Like, they got fucking absolutely dog walked. They've spent more on 2 midfielders this year than the entire fucking Brentford squad put together. They look like a fucking bunch of amateurs who'd literally never met each other. De Zerbi's a clown as well. He had fucking Andy Robertson, one of the best left backs of his generation, playing at right back. And then ended up, he jigged around his midfield, so he had fucking who did he have on the left wing? So they spent £100 million on fucking Tonali. Absolute joke shit. Newcastle saw him coming. They got absolutely fucked on that. But either way, like, he's a good defensive midfielder, and they had him out on the fucking wing. He can't run. What? Anyway, no, never mind.
Bro, and then it's like, oh my days. And they've gone in.
And you love to see it, because De Zerbi was the one who's defended fucking Greenwood, the rapist. So, you know, I hope De Zerbi's gone by Christmas, the cunt.
Done it again, bro. This is why man wanted an early goal, because man didn't want a game like this, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Man did not want a game like this, bro. Oh, it's horrible, man. Horrible.
Again, I think you're going to have to cancel your barber's appointment, mate. Yeah. Either way, your streak is over. Regardless of how you decided. It's been decided for you.
Have a free kick opportunity. They're going to loft one into our box here. Hang on to your seats, guys. We're getting done up here, mate. Hull City have scored. They have done as well. Oh, no way, boys. It's an absolute complete calamity. Hull City have done us 2-0. Hell. Oh, no, wrong. Oh.
No, this isn't a footy stream. We're just watching people freak out for a few minutes. And then we've got actual lunacy. This is like the chill, normal bit of the stream. For the next 5-10 minutes, this is the calm, rational, considered part of the stream. Prepare yourselves.
Oh, not again! This season's only just bloody begun! And we're already on the chopping block! No! This is an awful start! And I knew it was coming as well because they've just been pressing and probing and cutting us open! It's terrible defending again by our statues! You know, slabby-tastic defending from us! Oh, look at this, it's just where is...
Okay, which one was worse? His punching of that chair or Mike from PA? Oh shit, I just doxed him. Oh. Anyway, Mike from PA punching that couch. In terms of soft furnishing belligerence, in terms of furniture pugilism, which one was more pathetic? You know. Is Man United on track to be relegated? Well, technically, in the same way that when a baseball team loses the first game of the season and everyone goes, oh, you're going 0-182, like that thing, yeah. Yeah, they lost one game, having played one game, yes. Yeah. I swear football was created so men could have one outlet to funnel their emotions rather than therapy. Well, right, seamstress. If I can play a little bit of devil's avocado on this one. Whilst for some people it is a toxic outlet for their emotions, as you point out, actually I think it plays a bigger societal role. Now, I'm almost going to make an argument that bread and circuses is a good thing in this one particular way. Which is a strange thing for a leftist to say, but stick with me for a second. Tribalism exists. It just does, okay? People hive themselves off into strange, weird-ass groups, be it based on a nation, because someone drew a line on a map 1,000 years ago, or because of the particular amount of melanin in one's skin, or the language that you speak, or the religion that you were given as a child. Whatever, right? And, of course, you can create your own groups and tribalism. Based on a football team or a particular card game that you play or a tabletop game that you play or a particular video game that you play, whatever particular cultural thing you like, right? So tribalism can be sort of malleable in that sense. And the thing that football does and that culture more generally does in terms of like musical subcultures and stuff like that is gives people a way to belong and be tribal that doesn't necessarily involve heinous amounts of violence. Now, in the case of football, it does contain some violence, but largely that's now violent prick on violent prick violence, so kind of a net neutral, really. The point is, tribalism exists, and its outlet used to be like war, and racism, and xenophobia, and imperialism and ethnic supremacism. And whilst those things obviously still exist, those things are still like vestiges of a tribal, primitive past. Things like football offer a societal framework of tribalism that can be, at the very least, mostly benign. So, it's a matter of accepting what is human about the human and dealing with it in the best way we can. And I think something like football, or indeed, though, like I say, those other cultural subgenres, which allow a sense of belonging and an in-group and out-group that don't involve us invading people and murdering them, is a good thing. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I might have just rambled and no one understood a fucking word, but I've said my piece.
The attack, where is the defending? Oh my god, Luke Shaw! Oh my god, somebody take the tin opener off him! He's not allowed any more free Pentos plays anymore! The guy can't jump! Look, Luke Shaw, what are you doing, Luke? Where's Whoa! Oh no! Why isn't Bumo marking up their tallest fella? Why is Luke Shaw and Bumo two little blokes on their big boys at the back? It makes no sense!
I mean, bro, like, yo, they thought it was buzzwords, you know? When I talked about, like, intensity, energy, like, commitment. winning these rules, but they're not buzzwords. They're everyday essentials to.
See, this is how I like. This is the reaction. This is often my reaction of just like, oh, for fuck, are we doing this again? Because the thing is, Birmingham City often lose, and so like you're just used to it, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's again. Why am I wasting my time with this shit? Like sometimes you come away from the game, you just think, that's like 2 hours I'm never getting back. I just had my time stolen from me. And it's this feeling of just complete deflation. It's funny when it happens to other people though, so.
We're finished, bro, we're finished. خلاص 2-0. We're finished. It's game over. It's game over, bro. خلاص guys, خلاص.
Is he saying Hamas? What?
Nobody's marking. Where's the marking?
I'll lose this game. The media will be calling for Carrick's head from match day 1. They won't wait. Well, I mean, you know, the doubts will start if you're looking at records broken. Ball in. Yes, it's 2! Go on then. It's a Jai again, is it? Oh, it's Mendy. It's the new signing. Noble Mendy. How noble. Yes. Go on then. 2-0. Yes. United in the mud. Carrick countdown begins. From now, how long until he's gone?
I don't know. I don't think we've been that bad, and it's very obvious to me we're going to win this game. I think Tillemans has been poor, though, says Andre. Oh, we've got Mainu to come on. We've got Rashford.
To be fair, having talked about Tonali being overpriced, Tielemans, Villa robbed you. Villa absolutely fucking stole your dinner money with that. For that price, he's bang average for that price.
Rashford to come on. Oh, get out! Shut up! What are you talking about? We're losing to Bumblebee FC! It's 2-0! It's 2-0!
One thing I will say, the very, very, very cringe thing that Hull City fans do, you're getting mauled by the Tigers, and they do like this kind of... It's difficult to explain. Can I find it? Is it on... Hang on. It's super cringe. It's like some theatre kid shit. You're getting mauled by the Tigers. Yeah, here it is. Fuck me. It's honestly Hull. You need to cut this shit out. Yeah, let's cut that out, yeah? Yeah. That's insanely cringe.
And it's from another cross! Oh, I'm cross! I'm very cross! How are we conceding 2 bloody goals from crosses? I'm talking about Rashford and Maynard.
At least it's not a racist chant. True, it isn't racist. For once. For once, football fans existed and weren't racist. Which is fair. Seamstress, if your brain could be put into any footballer's body to play a game, whose body would you play in? Alive today, presumably then. So basically, who is the best player on Earth now? I guess is your question. If we break down the thing here, because you've not set parameters, so I'm going to go with who do I think would be the best player to win a game of football now. So I can't like go back in time and put my brain into Pele. Is that the question you were asking me? And if so, who would that be? Who would that be? terms of overall winning a game of... Oh, can be alive or dead. Well, Pele then, I guess. He was pretty good. And is now dead. Yeah, I'll go with Pele, the Brazilian. He was very good. And amusingly did erectile dysfunction adverts. It became... Oh, God. See, right, the thing you've got to know about schoolboys is that they're fucking pricks. Like, absolute fucking pricks. Actually, well, also, if we're going back in time, I'll go back a few years and put my brain in Lionel Messi, because I think he is the best footballer ever, but that's a different thing entirely. Anyway, schoolboys are pricks, right? So back in the day, Pele, when he was probably in his fucking 70s or 80s then. When I was at high school, right, he did erectile dysfunction pill adverts, right? And it became kind of a joke. It was like it became... Well, we didn't use the word meme back then, but it was basically like a kind of meme thing. It became a meme amongst our friends. And so, what we all decided to do, because one of the guys was a twat who kept just being a prick, basically. What we all did was, because there was a new thing called the internet. What we did is that during IT lessons, we specifically went onto that website, because you could order like free information about erectile dysfunction, right? And we put in this, our friend, quote unquote friend, we put in his address and his name into the like thing. And so on one particular day, he came into school absolutely furious because he'd received like 20 different Pele related erectile dysfunction pieces of mail at his house over the weekend. It was fucking beautiful. I've never seen him more angry, because he didn't know who to be angry at, because it was basically, he knew we'd all done it, but he couldn't prove that any of us individually had done it, so he was angry at all of us and yet sort of angry at none of us at the same time. It was fucking beautiful. Interestingly, that young man ended up having to do 2 years of Italian national service because his dad was a cheapskate. You may know, chat, that I went to a Catholic school and it was like 98% Irish background, you know, Irish parents or grandparents, and like there was like 6 Italians. So it was like O'Reilly, McDonald, Logan, Peruzzi or something, you know, what it looks, an Italian, Rossi, that sort of name, you know. And then there was like McGillicuddy, whatever, you know, McGeady, that sort of thing. Anyway, so there was mostly Irish, but he was Italian, right? And so his dad, at the time, the Italian passport was £4 cheaper than the British passport. So he signed his son up to get an Italian passport, which back when we were in the EU didn't make any difference, right? An Italian passport was just as good as a British passport back when we were in the good old fucking EU. And so because of that, he had to sign up, and he was stood as a border guard on the Italo-Slovenian border, checking papers for like 2 fucking years. For the sake of £4. His dad's a cheap cunt, man. They weren't even like a poor family. There was no excuse for it. Anyway, you get the idea, right? We've done with football. Football happened. Fuck's sake. Right. So, chat. I hope he did not speak to his dad. No, he did. He definitely did. Anyway, we've got a couple of things. I don't know if... Can I be bothered to finish off the Tim Pool thing? Probably not, right? So you've got this other thing, which we might take a look at, which is Candace Owens, so, you know, naturally, being interviewed on the Young Turks. Apparently quite favourably. Another one of the Young Turks slide into madness. Anyway, also, I've definitely spoken with this guy. I don't know who the fuck he is, but I definitely remember like him being on one of the panels I was on ages ago. Like maybe it was a hippy dippy or something. I don't know. But I've definitely spoken with this cunt before. Is that Big Papa Fascist? I can't remember what he looks like. Oh, is that him? Oh, okay. He definitely looks familiar. Like I was definitely. I only watched the first like 10 seconds of this, so I don't know how it goes. And it's just like a highlight of their conversation with Patrick Bet-Davis, who's the cunt there. Yeah, and I've definitely spoken with this guy before on something. And I remember him being a wanker. But, you know, whatever. Ooh, what are we doing? Right. So this is about Charlie Kirk. Can we get some lols in chat for Charlie Kirk still being dead? Charlie Kirk's... I don't want to say assassination. I'll say that time we all saw Charlie Kirk get put down. He got open air euthanized, if you will. You know. It's a real pain in the neck. He got babbited, if you will.
Well, do you know any of the charges that he's up for right now?
Yeah, of course, but I want to
can you
make sure
name
that we
one?
have them listed.
Yeah, but like can you name one? Because my general perspective is that you don't
Jaywalking. He definitely got done for jaywalking.
actually care about this case. You're not following
Is that
the
it?
case.
That's the
Yeah.
question. You're
Yeah,
just
but-
not
but, I mean,
following it enough.
It seems pretty, like, if you're going to engage and you're going to say the evidence is overwhelming that Tyler Robinson is guilty, I just think that you should, like, can you tell me one
Then let's do the
charge?
counter.
Answer the
This
question.
is fair.
Can
Name
you
all
name,
7 since you've been following the case.
Okay, sure.
Go ahead.
You name one.
Yeah, you named all 7.
I'm happy to do that, but can you name one?
I think he's been charged with murder.
That's actually incorrect.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty embarrassing. Yeah. Also, why hasn't he been charged with murder? If he's shot... Look, okay, right. Joking aside, you can't go around shooting people in the neck. I mean, obviously in America they do all the time, but you're not supposed to. It is, legally speaking, quite frowned upon. To me, if there was a clearer case of murder... than that, I don't think I've ever seen it. Because he definitely premeditatedly went to a place specifically knowing that the person he intended to kill was going to be in the sight of his gun, and then chose to kill him and try and escape. That seems to me like a pretty open and shut murder situation. No? Like, what have don't tell me they fucking Caponed him. They got him on fucking... He filled in his tax returns wrong. They couldn't get him on the murder. But the IRS have absolutely fucked him. It's aggravated murder. What the fuck is aggravated murder? Surely if it's aggravated, it's not really murder. It's like... Wouldn't that be kind of self-defense? I think, or am I getting the aggravated wrong there? I don't know. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know what he's been charged with, because I don't really fucking care. It's aggravated homicide. It's more nuanced. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. The state doesn't have a straightforward murder charge. Fair enough. Suppose it's a little bit like the oft-cited fact that there's no generic word for snow in native Inuit languages. They don't have a word for snow. And people always used to react to that like, oh, that must mean they're really stupid because they live around snow, so why don't they have a word for snow? And even I, as a child, worked out, well, presumably, they have different words for different types of weather that they experience a lot of. So just saying snow is like saying... It's like a fish saying... I don't know, water or something. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's just... Like, they would have to be more nuanced about it. Right? So I suppose it's like that with murder. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying words now. Does they make sense? I don't fucking know. Golden Retriever gets trapped by sleeve. What?
What happened? Rosie,
You should always
okay?
you should always help an animal in need who's been viciously attacked by clothing.
Are you stuck? You're not stuck. Are you stuck?
This is the dog equivalent of the Saddam Hussein meme. Hidden.
Rosebud? Rosebud? Are you stuck?
I don't even see a
You
dog.
can't move?
Is there a dog in this? I don't see anything here. I don't see anything. Oh, there's a dog! Oh, shit! Oh, there we go.
That's better.
Look at that. Whoa. That was stealthy.
Incredible to witness Andrew Wilson, who paid Candace Owens $300,000 to engage in that debate.
Jesus Christ! 300 grand! That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Why? $300. Why would you even want to talk to her? But like, also, it just goes to show you the right-wing grift is fucking crazy. That you've got 300 grand to be bantying about with each other. To have a pointless conversation where you don't even know basic shit. Come on now. Come on now.
Have absolutely no familiarity with the topic at hand, namely the Tyler Robinson case. You know, the suspect.
Okay, it's not relevant to anything, but birthing person says what? What's that? Is this a bonus hole I see before me? What is this? What's going on here? Outrageous.
Who's accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk. Now, Candace's detractors have basically brushed that moment off as like, no big deal, no biggie. But it is a big deal because prior to that debate, Andrew Wilson declared that there was overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson is guilty. Okay, guilty of what? How can one know what Robinson is guilty of if he doesn't know what he's charged with? Because Robinson wasn't simply charged with murder. He's facing trial for a more severe charge of aggravated murder, which could translate.
Hang on, what's this? The claim that Eskimos' word for snow are unusually numerous, particularly in contrast to English, is a cliche commonly used in some linguistic relativity theories. In linguistic terminology, the relevant languages are the Eskimo language. What the fuck? Different words from the same root. Oh, so it's okay. So they have the same number of root words for snow, but because of derivational morphology, they have many different words from the same root. Okay, I mean, I was just I don't care. Thank you 255, but I genuinely don't care. An Andrew Wilson classic. What is this?
Yesterday.
What is this?
Uh-oh. Come on, you can do it.
Put it right side up. Just
You can
so
do
doesn't
it. You
spill
got
on you.
this.
All right, bro. I can't do it. Here.
All right. Oh my god. I guess yeah, Andrew, go ahead.
I'm supposed to open the pickle jar?
It's like a, yeah.
Oh jeez.
Dude, this seems a little immature. No. For
Hey, the guy
$1,000.
sent $1,000.
Yeah, but it seems slightly immature.
It's all fucking
it's just
slick
for-
now.
it's a little-
See, it is.
I gotta grip it.
Uh-oh, Andrew. If you can't open it either.
Oh, here we go. Oh, my hands are sweaty. Do you even lift, bro?
Well, your hand greased the whole top of it.
My hand are fine. Here, high five.
It
My
literally.
shoulders are slow.
It's look, feel it. Isn't
Does
it
he have sex dolls behind him? What the fuck?
greasy?
It was like that already. Oh my god.
No, it wasn't. You greased the top.
Use
Oh
your
my
shirt.
Jesus,
Use your
Andrew!
shirt,
If you can't open the olive jar, you cannot
Here,
blame my
while we're doing
hand.
olive jar.
If you're so strong, you should open it.
Yeah, I got to be able to grip it.
Okay, we'll grip it. Let's
It's
go.
literally slippery.
Uh-oh. Back.
Grab me a paper towel.
Well, this is the opposite of aura farming. This is aura suicide right now.
So I can dry the top of it off.
Okay, once the top is dry, if you still
But do
can't
we
get it
now
out.
need to allow her another opportunity with the?
Yeah, give her the paper towel so
Give her
that.
the
No,
paper
I
towel.
think you should do it, Andrew. You're the big strong man. There you go. Come on.
Here, I'm gonna let some chats come
Ungreased.
through. We got some
Red
chats
Fox
while they're working on
donated
that. Red
$200.
Fox, thank you.
Deontology prioritizes intent, but threshold exceptions introduce consequentialist reasoning.
I'll let you go first if you want.
No, Andrew, I greased it all up. There you
Rules are
go.
absolute. Introducing a threshold is ad hoc.
Red Fox, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
I can't grip the fucker.
Uh-oh.
Like, I gotta have a way to grip it.
Jungle.
Andrew, I'm sorry. It's not.
My fingers slip
What a
right off the
backfire.
lid. My fingers are literally slipping off the lid. I just can't grip it.
You know what? Maybe the olive jars are harder than the pickle jars.
They're not hard to open, but I can't grip the fucking thing.
Watch this shit.
So you can't blame me for my greasy fingers now. Like, go on.
It's still greasy. The top of it's like,
You tried it with like 4
feel
minutes
it yourself. Tell me
Should
I'm
I
wrong.
you know what?
Is that not greasy and
It is actually a
sticky?
little greasy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking greasy.
I'm gonna let.
But it's the top, not the
Lulu
side.
donated $200.
Lulu, thank you for this.
Katara, you got good morals,
Who's
but you're not
Katara?
engaging with Andrew on the level in which he's challenging you.
Oh, he's calling me.
You're
Here, you know what? Let me
Yeah,
comment.
this is not
about the
openable.
ideas you believe in.
Fucking Fort
Read a
Knox.
philosophy book.
Here, go, go, go.
Just can't grip them.
Okay, now I want it to be
I got
open. It's
this,
like pissing me
Pisses
off.
me off.
Yeah,
Should we-
I know.
should
it's
we have
fine,
Jake
it's
try?
fine.
You'll see the same thing. It's
Come
just
on, bud.
greasy.
It is.
See? It's
My
fucking
hands slide
greasy.
it.
It
My
just
hands
slides
slide it.
off of it, yeah.
Okay.
It's just too fucking greasy.
Yeah, you know what?
You'll get the same thing. Come in here, Jake. You think, come on, you'll see for yourself. You can't get your fucking hand on it. Try it. Nah, you fucker. That was
Oh, that's embarrassing.
All right. I just want to say for record.
We are for mental rest.
That is quite embarrassing. That is quite embarrassing. Holy shit. Why are they using Finster's text-to-speech bot voice? It's almost like they're both basic bitches. Yeah, I said it. She's a fellow Brummie, I'm allowed to say it. It's fine. Plus, she's never going to see this. Why would she see this? Is it she? I think, do they go by she now? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that person, but, you know.
To the death penalty if Robinson is convicted. And as you can imagine, the burden of proof required to convict someone of that charge is rather high, rightfully so. So when Wilson says that there's overwhelming evidence to show that Robinson is guilty, well, he should be able to present that evidence. We should be able to see that evidence. And remember, there could be no reasonable doubt. Now, imagine making that claim, offering Candace Owens $300,000 to
You'd think if you were going to give up 300k, look, I don't care how rich you are, you know that 300k is a significant chunk of change, right? Even if you can afford to lose it, even if you're Elon Musk or some shit, you know 300 grand's a lot of money. You'd definitely do some basic research, right? Because you don't want to pay 300 grand and get made to look like a complete chump. Do you know what I mean? She is my favourite birthing person. She is indeed. I'll even go this far and say she's my favourite bonus hole. I've said it. Clip it and ship it, boys.
bait her with that stance and then say this at the very beginning of an hours-long debate. Take a look.
Just out of curiosity, are you, between 0 to 100, what is the likelihood that you think Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk and killed him?
Based on the evidence right now, I don't know, I'd say 75, 85%.
Oof.
Did he say 0 to 200?
Look, that was not a great moment for Andrew Wilson. That guy's supposed to be like a amazing debate. Okay, amazing debater. Now, Candace...
He's not. Absolutely not.
on the other hand, demonstrated that she's
Big Papa Fascist is a fucking great debater, is that? Okay.
knowledgeable about every nook and cranny of the case, including what I feel is the bare minimum of what Wilson should have known. Take a look.
Now name all 7.
He doesn't even.
Well, why won't they let the stream at 1.2? Because it's live. It's live.
This is like.
Name all 7.
And I.
Can you name all 7?
I can't.
Then do it.
Sure, you don't have to.
Do it. No, do it. I'll count them. Go ahead.
You don't
name
have to
them.
put your fingers up.
Okay, hang on. Name them.
Yeah, sure.
Name them.
The first charge is aggravated murder because that's what carries
Okay.
a death sentence
So
in the
murder.
state of Utah. No,
Next.
that's not. That is literally not murder.
Okay.
And
Next.
so just for people, no, don't. I don't have to do it in a time limit. There's nothing going on. The second charge is the felony discharge of a weapon. The next 2 charges are for obstruction of justice.
Okay.
The next 2 charges are for witness tampering, and the
what's
final.
the specific charges, though?
That is them. Obstruction of justice,
Both of
obstruction
those?
of justice, witness tampering, witness tampering.
Now, look, regardless of what you might think about Candace Owens, she's been investigating Charlie Kirk's assassination every single day since it happened.
Right, but she's also like a crazy conspiracy theorist cunt who is currently being sued by the French president because of her transphobic conspiracy theories about his wife. Anna!
Anyone who follows her show has seen her exclusively present materials that give any rational person the very reasonable doubt that would acquit Tyler Robinson. Remember, he stands accused of killing Charlie Kirk by firing a single shot to the neck with a .30-06 rifle, and he allegedly did so from a roof 142 yards away. So look, we're going to show you some of the material that Candace has presented on her show. And luckily, Candace joins us today to walk us through it all. Candace, welcome.
Luckily. We as leftists are lucky to have Candace fucking Owens. You know, the Hitler didn't really do that much wrong. You know, if he just stayed inside Germany, it would have been fine, actually. Yeah, that bitch. Yeah. Thank you, Camera. Or Cameron, even. Oh, Camera. Camera is your nickname from now on. He's not a great debater. He's a great masturbator. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having.
Also, I just want to say, while we're on the topic, not really, but I need everyone in chat to be like really proud of me. Do you know how much will it takes inside myself to not at everyone on the Discord every day with every tiny stupid thought I have? Like, honestly, you just your phone would just be pinging constantly. Like, today, I woke up this morning, right? And I was gonna at everyone and just say penis burp. Doesn't mean anything. I don't know what it is, but it popped into my head, and I wanted to tell everyone, but I didn't. So you're welcome. You're welcome, chat. You should be proud of my self-restraint. Absolutely. Are you riddled with ADHD? Probably. I don't fucking know. Like, I might be on the spectrum in some capacity. I'm not fucking checking. No, I don't want to know. I'm happy. I'm muddling along just fine. Thanks. Like, I go to the doctor when a limb is hanging off, and not before.
Having me. Thank you for doing this, especially on such short notice. I was planning on...
Did she also charge you 300 grand? And if so, did Peter Thiel pay it for you? These are questions my chat want to know.
doing this segment totally by myself, but there's just so much, and I know I'm gonna miss things, and you do really know this case like the back of your hand. So I want to start off by talking about what...
No, seamstress. The answer is no.
You covered on your show yesterday, because for me that was it. At that point I'm like, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to give her kudos
Kieran, he did lie. He did.
because this video footage is very suspicious and we need answers, and it does cast some doubt on the official narrative surrounding Tyler Robinson and how this assassination allegedly took place. So, you know, you have mentioned on your show repeatedly that less than 4 minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot, Terrell Farnsworth, who runs audio and visual for Turning Point USA.
Taylor Farnsworth? That has to be a Family Guy character. That's not a real... That's Lord Bottomtooth's real name. Surely. What the fuck is that name? American names are crazy. If it's not like a Key and Peele footballer black name, it's like Taylor Farnsworth Chadwick Merriweather. Like, it's some white ass crazy shit. Anyway.
Was seen taking down one of the cameras that was like on the set where Charlie was, right? So there's 3 cameras in total, but the one camera behind him, which would capture the back of Charlie's head and the audience viewing him, that's the camera less than 4 minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot. That's the camera that Terrell Farnsworth
Terrell Farnsworth! Oh, it's not even like... It's so dumb. It's not even like good enough to be one of the Toast of London names. It's not even that good. Oh, for God's sake, the fucking adverts!
K-type neck, cock-a-boo, peanut whistle, Una length, Dick Weirdley, Sal commotion, Scott Chestnut, Basil Watchfair, Iqbal Achieve, Nan Slack, Giuseppe Race, even Heathcote Pursuit! Every single one, all performed at the Globe.
Heathcote Pursuit. Tyrell Smoochie Farnsworth. Phantom of Black, you love it. Gronky Peep.
goes to immediately, takes it down, and then there's video of that moment along with some of the context of, you know, what you had to say about the video. So I want to just show the audience that, and then we'll go to the new footage that you presented yesterday. Everyone take a look.
So when the footage began going viral, the clip of Terrell taking down that camera in particular, people online, I think, rightfully speculated that there must have been something really important about that back footage behind Charlie's head specifically. And then people were gaslit. We were told, no, there was nothing unique about that camera. There was nothing unique about that footage in particular. Terrell actually grabbed all of the footage, and he did so because people were stealing and people are evil, which we then said our common sense went, that doesn't really make sense, because if he was worried about people stealing, like, wouldn't he be concerned with the camera? It was just the SD card that he took out. Contrary to what Andrew Colvett is saying, there was something special about that footage behind Charlie's head, and Terrell beelined to it in particular.
Okay, but like, let's say there is a conspiracy. Why would they set that camera up in the first place anyway? Like, why would you even have that camera there? If you knew that was, like, gonna film your patsy killing your target. Or whatever. Or your hired hitman killing your target. There's a guy who got drafted in the NFL this year whose name is KC Conception. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there are some doozies. And of course there was Leger Doozable, who was a real NFL player years ago.
And he was nervous about that footage in particular because he did not instantly grab all of the SD cards. He grabbed that one, and he did it nervously. Here he is. Here he is.
Nervously? See, that you're just editorializing there.
He's taking down the camera altogether. If you're worried about theft, take the whole camera. It's pretty small. It's in your hand. He doesn't do that. He takes it apart, and he takes the...
But what's nervous about this? He's doing this in open sight of everyone. There's nothing nervous here.
SD card out. And he looks around. He wants to see who's looking at him.
Well, why wouldn't he go behind the fucking thing? If he was so desperate not to be seen, why wouldn't he just carry it to a secure location rather than in front of whoever's still there? Because presumably there are lots of people still there.
And then he looks down at it and he walks around. And we had wondered, what did Terrell do when he walked around? He hasn't addressed any other camera there, just that one.
So it's stuff.
Okay, and it's just this. It's the same typical, just asking questions, never ever having any answers. It's honestly, this is giving me such fucking 9/11 truther bullshit. Like, why would? Like, the thing is, you're asking people to act in entirely rational ways, given that his employer has just been fucking murked in front of his face. Now, I don't know. It's perfectly plausible to me that some crazy cabal of people, for whatever political reason, wanted to murder this guy and cover it up and make it look like just an insane bloke. That's possible. People get whacked. Politics is a dirty business. People have been killed before. But this isn't evidence of anything. This is just a guy taking a fucking SD card. Now, one would assume that the police have asked him about this, considering he was caught on camera. I say caught on camera, he did it quite openly, it would appear. Tampering with potential evidence, right? Like, you're not supposed to really do anything to a crime scene at all. You're supposed to back the fuck off. Like, it was wild to me that people were just sort of scrambling about the place. An active fucking crime scene. Like, you're supposed to leave it and then the police can investigate. To say that crime scene was very compromised is, you know, pretty fucking accurate. I'm not sure much of the precise evidence is particularly usable, given that you had dozens of people trampsing about the place, touching fucking cameras and shit. But regardless of that, it doesn't mean... Like, it doesn't mean that the fucking Israeli government did it. And again, I don't for 1 second think that it's the Israeli government are above murdering somebody that they find inconvenient. But you do have to actually like provide any amount of evidence for that, rather than just going, oh, look at this guy, doesn't he look suspicious? Because that's the same shit the 9/11 truthers did 20 fucking years ago. Oh, look at this one slight incongruity. That must mean that Dick Cheney and the Jews are conspiring to take over the world. Like, come on, man. Why are you indulging this, Anna? This isn't anything. Like, by all means, dunk on fucking Big Papa Fascist. He's a cunt. Rinse him for the fact that he spent 300 grand to be made to look an absolute fool. But this is Nazi, bitch. This is Hitler did nothing wrong. That fucking cunt. Why are you chatting to her like she's normal? She's not one of the humans. She's a fucking weird freak bitch. Why are you talking to her? Oh, because you're not human either, are you? You're both awful fucking vermin.
Definitely strange that he didn't address any other camera except for the one directly behind Charlie Kirk. And you know, you actually reached out to him. You knew who he was because of your time with Turning Point USA. You spoke to him on September 18th to ask about
Not Turning Point Left, which is a different thing. That's a different organization.
it. What did he tell you?
It was the first thing that made me uncomfortable in this case. He basically was saying a bunch of excuses that didn't make any sense. The first thing he said was, you know, he wanted to secure the footage because he didn't want Erica to see Charlie die in 4K. And I said, Terrell, we all just watched Charlie die. Like,
yeah, I'm a million miles away, and within minutes I'd seen it. I was literally streaming as it was as it happened, and someone off air, like, well, someone sent it to me, and I watched it not on screen, and it was like I could tell from the amount of blood straight away, like he's dead. There's no way you survive that shit. Like, unless you have like a fucking drip and medical professionals on hand right there and then, you don't survive that. You're losing too much blood before you ever get to a medical professional, you know? Anyway. Are Candice and Anna in a relationship now? I don't ship it. Absolutely not. Oh, hello there, No Justice and the No Justice Raiderinos. Helena, if you're still here, I'm going to be on, hopefully on Tuesday, with Gareth Dennis to do some railway-related shite. So if you want in on that, that'd be cool. Because he's a good egg anyway. Look, I feel like this government's had enough time that we have a fair idea of what they want to do with railway-related policy, and so we'll get his expertise. Anyway.
Like, they're not saving her from that inevitability because, you know, that's the whole thing. It was live stream. We all watched this already. It's all over the internet, and it's from the front. Why would you grab the back footage if that was your concern?
Sometimes people are into grabbing the back. Sometimes they prefer the front. Sometimes they like the back, okay? Options. Like, if there's plenty of back to be grabbed, why would you not? If baby got back and she drops it to the floor, it's time to part her.
And then he told me that I said, could you just send it to me because I'm not going to show the footage. I just want to see it so I can then defend you on my platform, which was my intention, to say, hey guys, like, this is the reason he did this. Maybe a police officer told him to grab all the footage. You know, I hadn't put the pieces together yet. And he told me, well, I don't know how to send a file that big. And I said, Terrell, you run an audiovisual company. You know how to send big files. Like, you can use WeTransfer. You could use Google. And then he said he was worried that Google was going to hack him. I mean, these are just totally, frankly, bizarre excuses for not showing me the footage. I would have happily gone to him. I would have jumped on a Zoom call. And I was like, hey, you're acting really strange. I told him that. I said, this is all very weird. Like, what would Google hack you for? For the purpose of then showing the footage that we've all seen? Like, we're all going to see Charlie die again? Like, what kind of a conspiracy is this? And so you fast forward to this preliminary hearing and the testimony of the State Bureau of Investigations. And I find out that actually 8 days prior to him speaking to me, actually on the day that Charlie was assassinated, he sent them Google links. So clearly he wasn't fearful about Google. Clearly he knew how to share a link, as I know he did. So the natural question that I have is, why did he lie to me? Why did he lie to me?
Well, not only
because you're a crazy bitch. There you go. That seems like a perfectly adequate solution. You're a crazy conspiracy theory bitch, and he didn't want to tell you anything. There you go. Glad I untied that Gordian knot for you.
That, and this is really important. So he took the SD card out of the camera. You just mentioned that he provided investigators with Google links of the footage. Did he provide
them? As well
them?
as a flash drive, which is what was testified to, which means what happened to the SD cards, right? So the SD cards, if you're saying that you wanted to assist the officers, You just give them the SD cards. They know how to figure out an SD card. You don't have to do anything to help them figure out how to do an SD card. And so if that excuse of I just wanted to secure all the footage was correct, that's what you would have done. But clearly his focus was that back footage because he even steps over another camera, which would have had a good view of people in the audience. If you thought, hey, maybe someone shot him that was in the audience or Veloci Center, I would have grabbed that camera that was behind him facing the audience and the questioners. He steps over that camera and abandons an opportunity to grab that SD card at the same time. And he, nervously looks around, grabs that back one. And then...
Again, you say nervously looks around. He didn't seem very nervous at all. In plain sight, he grabbed the thing and left. Like, if he was being secretive, he'd have grabbed the fucking camera and gone off behind the screen and, did whatever he needed to do. And when you say he was looking around, to be fair, he was at the site of a recent assassination. Do forgive me if he was a little bit skittish. Maybe looking around him for potential assailants or, I don't know, grotesque souvenir hunters or the police or any number of other things that you might think you would possibly see at such an event. So the fact that he looked around once or twice, yeah, I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing. Like, he did just see his boss get, like, Ashley Babbited in front of his face. Yeah, I might be a bit jumpy too, to be honest. He should. Well, you're right, Saturn. He shouldn't have touched anything. You're absolutely correct. No one should have touched a damn thing. It's a fucking crime scene. You're supposed to leave it the fuck alone and let the police and the forensics do their shit. But again, we're asking very nervous, upset, possibly like even sort of the beginning stages of grief and shock. And I mean, do you get PTSD straight away? I don't know how it works. But you know what I mean? Like, that's a situation where it's understandable if you're not in a great headspace and you don't necessarily act in entirely rational or indeed even legal ways. Because you're scared, you're angry, you're grieving, you're in absolute fucking shock at the amount of blood that's everywhere. What if there was a gun in the camera and he was the real shooter? You know what? I think we've got our grassy knoll, bitches. I think we've got our grassy knoll. Kev, do you think Charlie Kirk has been a better husband and father in the last 11 months? Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Also, his wife's been having the time of her life. Honestly. She's loving it. She got to have like a fucking WWE SmackDown Raw fucking Royal Rumble funeral for him. She was Queen Bee for a few weeks. Oh, it was amazing. She's made fucking bank as well. She's loving life.
And walks around to the back of the tent, as you just showed.
And, I don't want it to be lost on our audience, so I want to reiterate. He never provided, and this is based on the testimony that you can hear for yourselves during the preliminary hearing. He never provided the SD card, the original, SD card to the, investigation.
Why isn't it demanded of him? Why is it up to him to decide that? I mean, this is where we need our lawyer. We need our resident lawyer to chime in on this. Why does he get to provide it or not provide it? Can't they get a fucking search warrant for his gaff and, like, strip the place bare if he decides not to cooperate? They are investigating a murder of which he was present at that murder and was seen tampering with potential evidence. Surely he has to be a suspect. Right? Surely. I don't know. Exactly. We need Marcus Drake, our resident lawyer. Absolutely.
He just provided the Google links and a flash drive, which would indicate that there's a possibility of evidence tampering, no?
Well, there already is evidence tampering. He took the fucking SD card, which he shouldn't have done. No, that's not evidence of a conspiracy. It's just evidence of one person behaving, well, a little suspiciously, but also just a little bit weirdly at an event that is, to be fair, pretty fucking weird. I would not expect everyone to be perfectly calm and rational in that situation. But regardless of that, remember Kash Patel is in charge of the FBI. That is true, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that he did do that, but that there's a possibility for that.
There's certainly a possibility, and what's also interesting to me is like the SBI, they control the case, right? So that's the State Bureau of Investigations. The lead investigators on the case are the SBI. They were on the ground that day. I believe he testified.
So the SBI sounds like what they'd call the FBI in a TV show where they couldn't get clearance to use FBI. Very much the pro Evo soccer version of the FBI.
It was about 1:30 by the time they started saying, okay, this is your job, your job, your job. Your job is to secure the surveillance. Why are you not giving them the SD cards? And the only excuse that we have gotten about where those SD cards are came from Andrew Colvett weeks later. He told the public that the SD cards were given to the FBI. That makes entirely no sense. This is not a federal case. This is a state case. The lead investigators are in the state. Who in the FBI has those SD cards, and when were they given those SD cards? Did Terrell take it back to Arizona and then give it to Kash Patel thereafter? We don't know, but these are questions that anybody who is looking at this case should be rationally asking because...
Right, but you're not rationally asking that. You're asking the question and then doing the conspiracy thing of jumping to a conclusion. Because I've seen this bitch espouse some crazy shit about, like, it's either the Israeli government or the French Foreign Legion is another one for some reason that wanted in on the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You know, Charlie Kirk famously against the French Foreign Legion or something. I don't know.
Terrell had an opportunity to edit that footage. He did. He just did. And the story that we were told by Andrew Colvett was that he just wanted to secure the footage for the purposes of making sure that nobody stole anything because people are evil. But actually, I don't think his priority was making sure that things weren't stolen because he left those other cameras. He left that other SD card as the one that he stepped over.
Yeah, he's just trying to cover his ass. He knows he fucked up by taking the thing and he's just trying to cover his ass. Yeah. So what? That seems like a much more fucking reasonable explanation than anything else. He doesn't want to get in trouble. So he just says, oh, I was doing it to make sure it didn't get stolen. Rather than, oh, I panicked and shat myself and just grabbed a fucking SD card. Or whatever, you know. Or maybe he was nefarious, but the nefarious element was, oh, I bet this footage is worth a fortune. I'll make sure I download all of the footage and then I can fucking, like, make a crazy-ass fucking video out of it or something. Or, like, fucking sell it to the highest bidder. And then when he found out, it's like, oh, shit, oh, no. I've got to hand it over to the FBI. Better make up an excuse about not wanting it to get stolen. Like, all of that is far more plausible than the French Foreign Legion did it on behalf of Benjamin Netanyahu in order to stop the lizard people or something. Yeah. Come on.
And addressed his computer. Right. Like, that's not the first thing. And I want to be clear. This is all happening within 10 minutes of Charlie getting hit. Terrell runs up to a ledge, records a selfie video of himself. As Charlie's being carried to the car, he says, Charlie's dead, which is a stunning thing to say. A stunning thing. Nobody knew that Charlie was dead.
Okay, but, like, he did just see him get shot, so he, like, panicked and went, oh, he's dead. So what? What does that fucking mean, Candice? This is just 9/11, like, just conspiracy shit. That's all this is. This is just weird fucking truther bullshit. A person in shock said a thing that wasn't technically accurate at the exact moment that he said it, but it did become later. Okay. How about lunatic grifter panics and says something slightly weird whilst taking a very, very poorly timed video that he wanted to put up on the social medias? Because again, they're all grifting cunts like you, Candace.
Charlie wasn't going to make it. He explained it away. I was close to him. I saw how bad it was. I just, assumed he was dead or whatever. Okay, I'll accept that. Your next step is not to call 911, but to jump down and secure the camera behind his head. Are we allowed to acknowledge that that's strange?
I mean,
Hang on. Whoa. That wasn't his first step, was it? Because you clearly saw that Charlie Kirk was long gone from that scene. The stage was empty. So the people that had gone to the thing had already taken Charlie's soon-to-be corpse away for, far too late medical intervention. So it wasn't the first thing he decided to do. It was 10 minutes later. You literally already said that. Yeah.
I'm acknowledging it.
So maybe he took a few minutes and went, you know what, that footage on the fucking... that SD card on that camera behind him, I bet that's got some fucking juicy shit on it. Yeah, no, I can make bank out of that. I can make some fucking bread. Seems how I'm probably about to get fucking... I'm about to lose my job because the fucking, the organisation's going to get shut down by his stupid wife or something.
I do think that's strange. And what's even more strange is the exclusive footage that you presented on your show just yesterday. So you asked, rightfully, what happened immediately after he took the SD card out of the camera. And you managed to find footage of what he did immediately after. So that's what we're going to take a look at next. Everyone take a look at this video.
Okay.
Here is what Terrell did thereafter, seen for the first time.
So this customer sent us
Oh,
back
for
their
fuck's
real order
sake. I didn't want to see a knife at that exact moment. Jesus
because
Christ.
they said that they did not get what they ordered. Let's open it up and see what...
Fuck off. Right, which one's the guy in question? Who are we supposed to be watching here?
Terrell is there.
Right. Okay.
He looks around, again, nervously.
Again, what's nervous about this? He's just looking around. Does your neck not pivot at all, Candace? What is this?
And he puts the SD card in his pocket, and he zips up.
Right.
He doesn't run to the other cameras and try to grab the SD card. Instead, what he does is he whips out his phone, and he begins texting with someone.
Okay. And? Wow. Yeah, he was probably just texting his friend. You'll never guess where I am. Or this is really fucked up. My Charlie Kirk just got shot. I just saw Charlie Kirk get shot. Yeah, I think that's something that people would find newsworthy. That is conversation worthy material, I think. I thought you got Prime, Kev. You thought wrong. Very wrong. You can give me money to buy premium, but I probably won't. I'll leave it there. I probably won't do that. Just saying. But you can be a good pay pig. Oink oink, etc. I'll even turn the alert box back on, which would be wildly inappropriate considering we're talking about the death of a person, but tough shit, tough shit. The text he sent was, how much for a different angle of the major news of it? Yeah, exactly. He was texting Alex Jones with 500 grand and you can have the exclusive footage, Alex. 10 gold coins. No, a gold coin for 10 jewels. Thank you, Miss Reb. Much love to you.
And that's what he does. He's texting with someone to say what?
Do you want to get Chinese tonight, or do you fancy a pizza? Like, yeah, maybe he's making dinner plans. I don't fucking know. But again, this isn't a fucking... This is nothing. This isn't evidence of anything. Or at least, it's not evidence of something that you can define, so it's pointless. This is just fucking conjecture. Oh, well, clearly he was texting Benjamin Netanyahu, saying, "Job done, chief."
I mean, that's a legitimate question. And think about the traumatic scene that everyone just witnessed. Less than 4 minutes after Charlie Kirk gets shot, he goes for the camera to take the SD card out. Like, I just feel like most people their mind wouldn't go there.
Okay, but most people don't run a fucking film and editing fucking company. Yeah. Also, I don't give a fuck what most people would do. A person in shock can react in 1,000,001 different ways. He could have sat in the corner, pissing himself, rocking backwards and forwards, going, "Oh, I don't want to die, I don't want to die." Yeah, I don't... This is fucking awful. This is... I knew this was going to be brain rot, but this is fucking cancer.
I mean, and I could be wrong. Everyone reacts differently, I guess. But I know I wouldn't react that way. My first thought wouldn't be, I got to get the SD card out of the...
No, my first thought would be, how is this trans people's fault? Can I blame this on Guatemalans?
camera directly behind Charlie Kirk's head. It's just strange.
Which is the least important footage when you consider the shots. It's the least important footage is going to be that footage because traditionally it always just showed kind of what was at Charlie's feet and a little bit of the audience. It's not a great shot of anything, actually. The other two cameras would be more significant. If that was your instinct to secure the footage, why not do all three at the exact same time? Why this one being prioritized? And I also...
Oh, this is from like 2 days ago. This is like, yeah, relatively fresh. Unlike Charlie Kirk.
Also want to raise the most significant part. He violates the crime scene to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls the chair that Charlie, according to him, just died in because he knew, he said instantly that Charlie was dead. So he knew it was a crime scene, and he drags the chair that Charlie was sitting on that has blood all over it and stands on top of it, stands over the other camera, which has been knocked over, to basically unfasten that camera, to bring it down, take it to the side, doesn't care about all of these expensive cameras that could be stolen. You know, Andrew's story is he was worried about people stealing. Well, okay, let's secure the cameras. And he just takes that SD card out, and he's constantly looking both ways. Like, you know, looking both ways.
No, he's not constantly looking both ways. He looks around like twice.
As if he is doing something wrong or like he has some sort of a fear. I mean, that's what I see in his body language when I look at that.
Yeah, because you're a crazy cunt. I don't care what you think.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I have a huge problem with the fact that he didn't provide the original SD card to the investigators. Like, that's a huge problem. Okay, so let's talk about the crime scene a little bit, because one of the things that I found strange was how quickly...
That's true, yeah, Kieran, absolutely. Unless you're in that exact situation, you don't know how you'd react. I've had this before in a kind of history context, when people say, oh, I would definitely have joined the French resistance. No, you fucking wouldn't. For a start off, especially at the beginning, if you joined the French resistance, you were very likely to get killed. That's a thing that people take into account when they're actually in the situation. From the fucking safe distance of 90 years later, where, I mean, there are Nazis, but there aren't literal OG Nazis, who will literally, like, murder you and disappear your entire family. Because, like, 99% of French people just sort of went on with their lives, mostly. The vast majority of people did not get involved in any kind of substantial partisan work. Because it's fucking dangerous and scary. So unless you're in that situation, you have no idea how you're actually going to react. Situations of high pressure force very interesting reactions. Do you think she believes any of this? I think she's a bullshitter. I think she's just doing the typical thing that like Alex Jones did for years and years. I'm just asking questions. We want answers. But then when they're given answers, or at least given plausible explanations, that's not good enough. It's never good enough. Because again, they're just asking questions. What they're not doing is actually seeking answers. They're just asking questions. What is this? How is this trans people's fault? Can I blame this on Guatemalans? Oh, you did not need to clip that. How is this trans people's fault? Can I blame this on Guatemalans? I didn't say that. Clip chimp.
The scene was tampered with in a way that would bury potential or possible evidence in order to help indicate and find who actually killed Charlie Kirk. So can you go over some of what you find strange? So there was the...
What the fuck? Why are you indulging this person's ravings? This is the same person. This is the same fucking person who thinks that the First Lady of France has a cock and has lied about that repeatedly to the point of being sued. This person, I don't care what they find suspicious or weird or anything like that. They're fucking either an absolute lunatic or the biggest grifting piece of shit ever. And it doesn't matter which, you shouldn't indulge it.
Why are you
It's a very good question. It's a very good question, sir. Thank you, Marcel, for 63 fucking months. That's mad. Also, you wouldn't just join the resistance because it was a clandestine movement. You would need to know the right people or be in the right place. Plenty of circumstances may allow or prevent you from doing so. It's not just a personal choice. That is also true, Marcel, but I was talking more about the... I don't know. The philosophical rather than the practical application. But yeah, that is also a consideration, to be sure. In fact, one of the bizarrest elements of resistance activity was keeping Germans alive, which became a massive thing towards the kind of end of the war. In some of the forests and mountains of France had large encampments of deserting German soldiers who would desert, give themselves over to the resistance, and the resistance would keep them alive, not because they necessarily liked them, but on the basis that it would encourage other Germans to know that there was a safe place where they could just not be in the war anymore. And so there were kind of roving camps of sometimes hundreds of German escapee or German what do you call it? AWOLs or whatever, that would be fed and clothed by the resistance. Because every German that was in the forests not doing war was one less German on the front line, right? Deserters was the word I was looking for. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Imagine that as a job. Hang on, I've got to give food to the Germans. What? What do you mean I've got to deliver food to Germans in the woods? What does that even mean? I'm risking my life to do that. But of course it makes sense, right? Like, yeah. Anyway. Which of course would be geographically specific, because if you live in the middle of Paris, there were not, hundreds of German fucking deserters. You have to be in the right place at the right time, sort of thing. I made another one. Another one of what? Thinks that the First Lady of France has a cock. Are you trying to get me cancelled? Thinks that the First Lady of France has a cock. 255 trying to get the Kev fully cancelled tonight. He may succeed. Who knows? No deserters in Paris, only main courses. I see what you've done there. I see what you've done. Not true, but I see what you've done.
The whole paving over of that area.
Yes.
What do you know about that?
So what we know, and this is what has been shared by the person who directly put down the pavers. So this is not like, oh.
Oh yeah, she's very much getting sued again by the first family, the president and Mrs. President of France, the nation state, the head of the nation of France is suing Candace Owens because she's a conspiratorial piece of shit. But, you know, we should definitely listen to her about this other thing that she's definitely right about, guys, honest. Read my other comments, you big jerk. No. Will they sue you if I send them that clip? I hope so. That would be very good for my career. Because firstly, they wouldn't have a case, but secondly, that would make the news. It would be good advertisement for the thing. And I could say I was cancelled and get myself a book deal. It'd be fucking awesome.
He did an interview. He explained everything. He got a call over the weekend asking him to come in for what was described to him as an emergency paver job that was being done because the FBI and the governor of Utah were requesting it. Now, what we do know about that entire area of that courtyard is it was under FBI control. That came out in the preliminary hearing. They described which zones everybody was in control of. And for whatever reason, our FBI, who should not have been involved in this case at this stage. There's no reason for the FBI to get involved in a state crime. Didn't happen across state lines. They decided, you know, giddy up, we're going down immediately, and we are going to be in control of the courtyard. So it would, what he's saying would make sense. The FBI was in control. And on Saturday, they had a team come in and dig out and remove all of the dirt. And then on Sunday, a separate team came in and put down pavers. And they said it was an emergency. It had to happen. And so he basically testified. He went on a podcast, so it wasn't like a official testimony, and explained, I didn't know, I had never in my entire career heard of a paver.
Post it in the stream suggestions, Phantom.
Emergency that couldn't wait until the next week, and they had him lay down pavers, and in the process they moved about 12 inches of soil. They wanted 12 inches of dirt removed and to have pavers put down. Well, now moving that dirt to put down pavers makes sense. You have to remove dirt to put down pavers, but what is the emergency? This is a crime scene. Why would you do this? None of that makes any sense. And so it's another thing where you go, they literally paved over the crime scene, began paving over the crime scene within 72 hours. It's just an absolute...
That does seem like a short time span, but again, what does that prove, Candace? What's your actual fucking claim here? Maybe they just wanted to get rid of the blood dirt so that people wouldn't steal the blood dirt. Okay. Fine. Like, it's a bit weird. It's not really an emergency as such, but... Okay. Like... Look, make a claim. What do you think it means? Just saying, wow, that's a bit strange. Probably the Jews did it. Like, that's not enough, Candace. And by the way, when I say that, or insinuate there that she's being anti-Semitic, it's because she's an anti-Semite. Although, of course, interestingly, was more than happy to take a paycheck from a Jewish man for many years, but that's a different matter entirely. She is an anti-Semite. We already saw her shit about Adolf Hitler, or I mentioned her shit about Adolf Hitler. But also, she's the very person who's like... I've made this point before. When criticism of Israel steps over the line and becomes criticism of Jews or whatever, you're doing the job of the Zionist freak for them. You're making it seem like criticism of Israel is criticism of Jewish people, i.e. just being anti-Semitic, right? Most people who are anti the government of Israel, anti the IDF, are not doing it because the Jews. It's because the actions of the Israeli government are fucking despicable. They're doing genocide. In fact, I believe genocide to be an un-Jewish thing to do. Most Jewish people do not want to do genocide, and indeed don't do genocide. To suggest that it is intrinsically a part of Jewishness is itself anti-Semitic. Just saying, lads. Anyway, Candace Owens is coming at it from the perspective of it being the Jews. So her criticisms of Israel are not legitimate in the sense that they're coming from a place that's good, because she also doesn't like Muslims. She also just doesn't like Jews as well. She doesn't seem to like many people, to be honest. Yeah. How do you clean up a crime scene on soil without removing the soil? It's a very good question. People dipped hankies in Dillinger's blood. Yeah, exactly, yeah. The weird fucking gruesome souvenir hunters are pretty gross.
Nonsense.
I remember you talking about how the authorities also provided Erica Kirk with material that should have been maintained as part of the investigation. Can you just quickly go over that?
Absolutely. And so in any traditional scenario where
they paved paradise, put up a Kirk was shot. It rhymes. It does not, however, work, but it does rhyme. I will grant you that.
is an unsolved crime, even if there is a solved crime, you're going to keep certain things into evidence until you get to the trial, right? That's just, and of course, every one of Charlie's personal belongings is going to be assumed that it needs to go into evidence.
Right.
And you will recall that there was sort of this moment where the public really first saw Erica, and she's hanging out of the window and she's holding Charlie's St. Michael necklace, his St. Michael pendant, and it's on a chain. Now, there are some people that say that
he used to hang an effigy of a man around his neck. Gay!
That chain actually was not the original one he was wearing, and it had been switched. But we do know that that is his St. Michael pendant. She then featured it and discussed how...
Oh, so he was gay with this Michael lad, and he was a switch. That's interesting.
He loved this pendant, and how she would get him a new pendant fixture every year. That's completely crazy. How would you just give that immediately back to Erica and not see that as evidence? And we found it strange that so many people who were there that day had like a personal story about the pendant that made no sense. Namely Frank Turek. He told a story, and his story has shifted somewhat, and he said...
Frank Turek is involved in this? Fucking hell. That is a blast from the past. For those who don't know, Frank Turek is a Catholic, far right piece of shit. Right? He's one of these young earth creationist, apologetic fucking people. I think I've mentioned this series before, but it's definitely worth a watch. Go to Steve Shives' YouTube channel and look up his An Atheist Reads series. If you want content about, an atheist debunking creationist shit, but you don't want it from an absolutely bigoted, fucking disgusting piece of garbage, go to Steve Shives' channel. He's got lots of it. He had this series where he went through books written by, apologetics fucking writers. And Frank Turek was one of them. And he's, That's a real blast from... I didn't even know he was still alive. Like, it doesn't surprise me. Like, he's of the age where he could have still been alive, but... Holy shit. I was not expecting that name to come up at all. Honestly, if we get a Kent Hovind, what a world that would be. What's this? Heaven, no thanks. Atheist student challenges Frank. Oh God, no, we're not doing Frank Turek. No. No. 255. No.
Says it's fine, everyone has different memories, but he says that, you know, when he got to the hospital.
Yeah, how lucky was that pendant overall, really, considering what happened? Like, it didn't even do the basic thing that, like, would happen in a movie where the metal deflected the bullet. Like, you know, they've always got, like, a cigarillo case in their breast pocket that stops the bullet. That sort of thing. Are you sure it's the same guy? What? There wouldn't be two Frank Tureks, would there? Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Or is he only 64? I thought he'd be a bit older than that. Christian apologetics views. Yeah, other. On September, yeah, so this is Frank Turek, Christian apologetics, blah, blah, blah. His alma mater being the Southern Evangelical Seminary. Lovely. On September the 10th, 2025, Turek was present during the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which... That's suspicious. That's suspicious. Whom he described as, quote, my dear friend. Turek was in the SUV assisting the team evacuating Kirk to the hospital. He later spoke at Kirk's memorial service on September the 21st. I gave my own tribute on that particular occasion as well. Very different kind of tribute, but, you know, still.
Hospital, they were securing the car. That was another piece of evidence that they got rid of. They towed the car and wanted it cleaned and resold within 72 hours. I mean, the whole thing is just so crazy that you would tow that car in 48 hours that had Charlie in it and could potentially have some evidence. But he tells a story about the pendant, Frank Turek, where he says he went out to the car and first the FBI wouldn't allow him to get his belongings. And then he said, you know, where's Charlie's pendant? Because I know Erica wants it. And the FBI said, no, you can't have it. And he said, no, I demand it for Erica, and they just gave it to him. Like, that's not really a believable story, and I'm sorry that the FBI said, oh.
Yeah, it's Frank Turek, a bullshitter. Yeah, it's a bullshitter bullshitting. Again, this is evidence of nothing.
Oh, well, if Erica's emotional and looking for it, here you go. None of it really makes any sense.
Okay, I have so many questions. Okay, for our audience members, let them know who Frank Turek is, because they might not be familiar. Like, what is role?
Frank Turek is one of about 20 people who claim that they were Charlie's personal pastor. I find that to be very strange as well. He was with Charlie in the days leading.
Why? Religious grifters do this kind of shit all the time, yeah. How many religious advisors does Trump have? Like, they all do this shit, right?
Up in Arizona, and for some reason Charlie needed a rabbi, a priest, and a pastor. I kid you not, in the 48 hours leading up, and they all say that it was because he just wanted to strengthen his debate skills, something that Charlie's been doing for 10 years. He just really wanted to work on his debate skills. Anyway, Frank Turek accompanies Charlie to this event, which is obscure to me that he would be doing that, and then he's kind of filming on his phone, says that he's on FaceTime, rather, is what he says, with his grown adult 35-year-old kids in the middle of the day because they just love Charlie Kirk so much and they want to hear him.
What the fuck is... That's hiding, is it? Okay. That seemed like assuming the position, in all honesty, but thank you nonetheless.
Speak. And mind you, that son that he's referring to, I'm pretty sure, is in the military. And the shot happens and Frank Turek jumps into the back of the car to accompany Charlie to the hospital, and he did a media blitz thereafter and told a lot of stories about what he did in the car. And
yeah, he's a bullshitter, a person who has made his entire career lying for money. Also happened to be at one of the most high-profile events of the year and used that as an opportunity to further grift and lie. Wow. Do you think that would happen? A known bullshitter would go on TV and just lie and make things up? Well, gee willikers, if that can happen, anything can happen. A rabbi, a priest, and a pastor. What is this, a joke? True.
And spoke about this necklace that Charlie was wearing and how it was just sitting on his backpack when he was at the car. And the feds said to him, "Oh, there it is." What do you mean, "Oh, there it is"? How did the feds know that Charlie was wearing a necklace? There it is. Why were they looking for Charlie's necklace? These are all sorts of unanswered questions that we are asking. Like, why were the feds looking for it? Why were you looking for it? Why did Erica want it? Why couldn't this have gone into evidence first and been...
Why would his wife want a keepsake that was on the body of her slain husband? Also, what the fuck do you think it is? What do you think this pennant was like? A bullet magnet, which made the bullet go right into his fucking neck. Look, again, this is just pointless question asking. Pointless, stupid, nitpicky rubbish. I couldn't give two fucks about his pendant. What does it mean? I'm not going to say thank you for that, B-Beck. You know what I feel about that particular number and that particular meme. So you know what? I am not, I repeat, not going to say thank you. So I'll just say thanks instead.
Returned to her at a later date. And I'm told by police officers the usual process is they take everything and then the attorney general of the state has to sign off if you want anything personal back. For some reason, they violated all of that for Erica, allegedly. We did see her holding it the very same day. So
what I also don't understand, and there might be a reasonable explanation, you would know better than me because you've done so many of these types of events alongside Charlie. After Charlie is allegedly shot, why is he being transported to the hospital in an SUV as opposed to an ambulance? Like, does...
Because there wasn't an ambulance on call, I guess? Like, do you want them to wait for an ambulance to arrive? Did you see the amount of fucking blood pouring out of his fucking neck? Like, it was spurting. Like, I always thought in the movies where you see someone get shot and there's like blood spurting out everywhere, you're like, oh, this is fucking Hollywood shit, man. That doesn't really happen. And then you see the thing, you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit, that does happen. No, why? I thought that was like a thing they did in fucking movies. But no, his jugular was fucking torn open by a massive piece of shrapnel metal tearing through his fucking body. So, yeah, he was going to bleed out if he waited for a fucking ambulance. You're a journalist, are you, Anna? Can I just ask? Why didn't they wait for the terribly bleeding man? Why didn't they just wait for an ambulance? Oh, I don't know. Maybe time was pressing. You could say that literally every second counted. Anna. Why didn't they just leave him to bleed out on the fucking desk in front of everybody? Why did they even bother taking you anyway? You know what? In many respects, this is what's wrong with America. He needed to man up. Pull himself up by his neck straps. Stop being woke. Stop being a snowflake. Take care of his own shit. Why was he asking other people, doctors and stuff, to save him? This is the nanny state, this is.
Doesn't Turning Point USA usually have like an ambulance nearby in case something happens?
A bleeding neck liberal. Absolutely.
Single event that I have done has had an ambulance on the side. This is brand new. I mean, everything that day was brand new. I showed how I even texted, like, Terrell didn't come to the events. Terrell didn't sit to the side of us. All of that started, and I just...
Was St. Michael's the patron saint of soldiers? Was he doing God-based stolen valor? Because this guy was like the opposite of a soldier. Like, the softest-handed, most pampered freak in the world, right? Like, anyway. Yeah, pray the bullet away. Absolutely.
Describe as a sort of boiling the frog. Ironically, the one time, the one semester, so to speak, that I did not go on tour with Charlie, everything changed. They now have him up on a platform. They have him wearing this double mic. They have this camera behind his head. We never had cameras behind our head. You can go back and find the footage. I mean, I have toured with Charlie from 2019 until spring of 2024. I really appreciate how many tour stops I've done with Charlie. And so I was able to immediately look at the situation and go, what is this? What is all of this? Why is Terrell there? My first question. What is Terrell doing here? He does the big events. He's the CEO of the audiovisual company. This is like a chump change event. I've done UVU with Charlie before, literally have done that exact school. You can go find the footage. What are we doing here? And and Terrell said to me on the phone, we were trying something new. He kept saying that we were trying something new. What was new that you were trying? He said we wanted immediate, feedback back to the ops back home, so we could cut clips the fastest, like someone's racing to beat Turning Point at cutting these clips. And so it makes me uncomfortable that there were so many admitted by Terrell new fixtures immediately as they got me out of the picture, putting pressure on Charlie.
Oh yeah, you were the guardian angel, keeping St. Charlie safe. You and St. Michael between you were the only thing keeping him alive. What the fuck is this main character syndrome bullshit? You realise he was running like a multi-million pound media operation? You being there or not didn't make the slightest difference, really. Candace, like, what, the cabal who run the world, the secret Illuminati, are too scared to take you out as well? Oh, no, we at the secret JQHQ desperately wanted to kill Charlie Kirk, but no, his force field of protection, Candace, is still with him. We need to get her out of the picture. Only then will the bullet of truth work. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Candace?
Regarding Tucker Carlson, as well as me, following my firing from the Daily Wire. And then a year later, Charlie's dead. That doesn't sit right with me. That just...
Why? Why does that not sit right with you? What are you talking about? Oh, wow, just like that, I got fired from a completely different organisation. And then a person I used to work with got killed. Wow, that must be connected. Because reasons. Good night, Fogel.
Just doesn't sit right with me. And again, you can look at every piece of this objectively and go, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And why do we have Turning Point unwilling to offer information that could help make it make sense?
Yeah, that's the part of this.
No, look, there's no amount of evidence you could ever be shown that will convince you of anything than the thing you already want to believe. That's how conspiracy theorists work. You could be given an absolutely watertight explanation of every possible incongruity, and you would still try and pick at the edges and come up with some numerology or like, oh, my chakras are telling me this, that, and like, you just find some other fucking cope for why you are still right. So, not to defend Turning Point USA in any way, because it's a hell organisation filled with the fetid scum of humanity. But why should they offer you anything, Candace? You've done nothing but traduce all of its fucking members as, like, guilty of the murder of Charlie Kirk? Or something? Or at least covering up the murder of Charlie Kirk. So why should they offer you a damn thing?
That's so strange to me, Candace, because...
I'm Olivia Rodrigo, and this is my Daisy Chain Fields collection, available exclusively on Etsy.
Well, that seems inappropriate.
So, that's our pitch.
But if AI can't explain itself, who's liable when it's wrong?
It's a good question.
And it's usually the same group of people who are like, oh, there's nothing to see here when it comes to the Epstein files. Usually people who defend...
Well, no, there's plenty of shit to do with the Epstein files. Because, like, we have actual evidence there. Whereas We're not just asking questions. There are, like, Donald Trump's literally in the Epstein files. There isn't a Charlie Kirk files. As if those two things are remotely the same. God almighty. Like, I've never thought of the Young Turks as particularly great journalists. But at least their politics used to be vaguely okay. But not only have their politics gotten way worse, even their journalistic standards have gotten way worse. Which I suppose might go hand in hand, I don't know. Maybe you have to be a shit journalist to work for Peter Thiel, I don't know.
And Israel's undue influence over our government and the wars that we fight on their behalf. It's always the same group of people who are not only hounding you.
Okay, so you're so... I mean, literally, like, I'm going to start sounding like the people who went after Jeremy Corbyn, right? The people we joke about by calling Jeremy Corbyn literally actually Adolf Hitler. Interestingly, Corbyn's going to be on Zach Polanski's show. Many months after, of course, No Justice MTG was already on that show, so, like, stay in your lane, Corbyn. But why would a Jewish man interview Adolf Hitler? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what Polanski's playing now. That's a joke I can do when No Justice isn't on this show, because Zach Polanski will not hear this now. That is not a joke I would do when streaming with her. For the off chance that it's possible. Although it's kind of cool thinking, like, oh, he's definitely heard my voice, right? Like, Zach Polanski definitely knows who I am. And that's fucking dope. I imagine he doesn't like me very much, and that's fine. But, not that he hates me or anything, but, like, I do make jokes about him, so I don't know. Where was I? Oh yeah, sorry. I'm going to start sounding like the people who criticised, Jeremy Corbyn as an anti-Semite for criticising Israel. But the thing is, when it comes to Candace Owens, and now it would appear also Anna Kasparian, their criticisms of Israel aren't coming from the good place, I don't think. When you start talking about the same group of people and all of this sort of stuff, it starts to sound quite JQ-y. It does sound a little bit jankier. Zach liked a comment of mine the other day. Oh shit, no, he follows me on Twitter and on Blue Sky as well. So yeah, he definitely knows who I am. Why does Zach hate Kev? Because I'm just too fucking Chad. That's why. He can't handle me because he's too woke.
And just trying to make you out to be crazy, while, by the way, totally ignoring your arguments, never engaging in the substance of what you're saying. They just try to defame you.
What substance? We've listened to you now for 25, nearly 26 minutes. So you would think you'd put your good stuff up front, right? Your big evidence up front. And you haven't even got like a Building 7. You've got nothing here. You've got absolutely nothing. Oh wow, some people acted in strange ways at this obviously very strange incident. Okay. Cool. Why should I care about that? Why should anyone care about that? Show me some evidence of anything and I'll listen. Because conspiracies do happen. Did only I get the Building 7 reference? I imagine some other people probably got the Building 7 reference. For those who don't know, it was one of the big 9/11 truther, like, gotcha things. What about Building 7? What about Building 7? Which was a different building that also collapsed on that day. Because it had, like, you know, massive bits of tower fall on top of it. You know. It was explained. It was explained very conclusively what happened there. Pull the tower. Well, he didn't say pull the tower, did he? Now, let's be honest here. Let's be true. He said pull it, as in pull the workers from the tower. Now, by the way, that was not Larry Silverstein's job to make that call. But either way, he didn't say pull the tower. He said pull it, as in, like, get the people out of the thing because it's about to collapse. And like all massive events like that, you can pick around at the edges. There are strange things. There are some things that you'll never be able to explain. It's a messy world. Doesn't mean that like don't fucking, you know. Doesn't mean that there's like, I don't know, Dick Cheney and the fucking alien lizard space Jews did it. No, we know who did it. It was some Islamist nutters who, interestingly, went drinking and to a strip club the night before, because, you know, Allah gives you a pass if you're about to do some martyrdom or something. I don't know. Enjoy hell, lads.
Okay, it is what it is. But what's strange to me is, don't you want these questions answered? Like, don't you want to get to the bottom of what actually happened that day? Very likely that...
Oh, why do you want to get to the bottom of it and not the top of it or the switch of it? Bigger.
Tyler Robinson is involved in some way. Is he the only person involved? And I've been saying...
Am I just going to ignore your pun? What was your pun? I was wondering how to make a Jenga joke about Building 7, but I couldn't find anything stable. Honestly, for that, I think I should block you. Jenga blocks. Okay. I can see my credibility is collapsing here.
Saying that.
You
I
have
think
been
he is
saying
involved.
that. Yes, you have been saying that. Yeah.
Like, I've never said I think he's completely innocent. I say I do not believe he fired a shot and killed Charlie Kirk. So for what is being brought against him, I think he is innocent of. Could he be an accessory to murder? Was he burying clothes? And
Burying. She turned into Cletus, not Cletus, Cleveland Brown for a second there.
An accessory to murder? Was he burying clothes? And
oh, forgot to use your white voice, didn't you?
hiding it, taking instruction from his boyfriend. I know he was around campus that day. I was told.
So he's a guy. The guys did it. I knew it. It's always the guys. Charlie Kirk actually had an explosive charge neck implant in conspiracy just dropped. Oh, well, I'd seen the one where, not that he had a neck implant, because that wouldn't really make sense, but I saw the one where apparently his microphone would have had an explosive charge in it, and so the microphone the explosive charge would go up into his neck and make it look like he'd been shot. It's not true. There's literally no evidence to suggest it is, but it's a thing that people have said. It's a very dumb thing, a wrong thing that people have said. Be gay, do capital crimes. Just for legal reasons, don't do capital crimes. They are indeed illegal.
By a Robinson family member that he did not step foot on campus that day. And so, yeah, I feel like it's not like we're being crazy here. We're asking Turning Point to help assist us. Mm-hmm. And the most disturbing part of all of this for me is that his wife is not telling the public the truth about so many things that she could easily tell the truth about. And this is not some widow that went home and is averse to publicity. If she was like, I don't care, I'm not getting involved, my focus is my children, and I'm camera shy, so to speak, you'd be like, okay, well, that's just who she is. Well, no, she's on tours. She's Shabbat and she's Shalom and she's talking to everybody. You can't keep her.
Oh my God. She's Shabbating, she's Shaloming. Do you want to be any more obvious with your anti-Semitism, Candace? Why not pull out the K word? We know you want to.
away. She went right into the office that week and led a call giggling about emojis. How are you out of bed? I'm sorry. Like, are you trying to tell us that it's not reasonable for us to expect you to mourn longer than...
Well, it is unreasonable for you to expect an exact set of behaviours that you associate with mourning. For a start, she was married to Charlie Kirk. I imagine she's emotionally damaged. Why would she react in exactly the way you want her or think she should react? Have you ever considered avoidance behaviour? Have you ever considered putting on a brave face? Have you ever considered that the pit of despair was covered up with drink or drugs? Have you ever considered any of those things, Candace? Or is it, oh no, she must have been in on it, she probably murdered her husband? Okay. Yeah, that seems perfectly plausible by comparison to any other explanation. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
in 72 hours, the world who did not know him mourned longer. People who did not like Charlie Kirk mourned longer. You know,
I horned longer. My horniness for that event did not abate for a long time. And you're supposed to go to your regular physician if it lasts longer than 62 hours or whatever. But like, I just... Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't tear it off. I was jerking it so hard. Oh my god. But other people did mourn quite a while. Yeah. Actually, that's the point. Did I wank longer than she mourned for her husband? I don't know. I think it would be a close call.
You know, and just because it was so traumatizing, I think everyone felt less safe after Charlie got hit. And you watched it. I
No, it was cool.
felt this, like, suddenly so insecure to go outside. She sits down with Jesse Waters and she says, he's like, you know, were you...
How's your new president going? Well, unfortunately, Zakup, we don't have a president because, much like yourselves, we have the produce of the right bollocks and ovaries as the head of state. But the new prime minister is kind of dog shit, but slightly less dog shit than the previous pile of dog shit. But still, like, you know, dog shit. Anyway, everyone go and follow Zakup immediately. Otherwise... I won't actually do anything to you, but like, you know, you've been warned. Hope Kev didn't have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. I did. When Charlie Kirk died, my erection was had to be measured in days rather than hours, to be honest. I might have set records.
scared? She's like, no. God's got me. He's like, have you lost sleep? She's like, no. Are you taking any medicine? I don't need any medicine. It's great. It's like, okay, you're Superwoman, I guess, or something. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right.
Or she was using non-prescription medication, i.e. drink and drugs. Yeah, like she was self-medicating. She didn't want to be given proper medication because that would have interacted with the heroin quite badly. Maybe. Maybe the antidepressants and the fucking eyeball shot glass of vodka every fucking hour probably wouldn't have mixed very well.
Right to me, and I have a right to form an opinion on Erica based on her public actions.
Well, one of the
Get out. Shelf medicating. You absolute fucking, you silly sausage. You silly Billy. Oh, it's so cute. My niece, I'd say, oh, you're a silly Billy. And she'll protest, I'm not a silly Billy. And it's very, very cute. But it's also a fucking lie. Because she is a silly Billy. We've been through this a lot. She does some silly, wacky shit, so... Her protestations of innocence regarding the silliness and or billiness of her behaviour holds no water with the Kev. I see through her crocodile tears.
actions that honestly made me a lot more critical of Erica Kirk came up in the context of your debate with Andrew Wilson, because he opened the debate by reading.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, Andrew. It sounds weird to someone on the outside, her being really happy and excited about this thing, but again, bear in mind that she's going through an incredible amount of like personal stress. She may have been self-medicating. She may have been just putting on a brave face and going over the top in order to mask her true pain. Or it could just be that she's a fucking sociopath. What it doesn't mean is what Candice thinks we should get the inference of here, that she had her husband whacked for Benjamin Netanyahu and the French president's wife's cock or whatever, I don't know. Getting flat packed like her late husband. Oh.
An alleged text message that Charlie Kirk sent. And just to kind of sum it up, and I'm not reading it verbatim, I want the audience to know that, Charlie Kirk communicated in that alleged text message that he wanted the security to be bolstered because he's worried about someone on the left trying to kill him. Which is strange because that was allegedly a text message that Turning Point USA, it could have only been one person, Erica Kirk, because she's the one with his phone. She provided that to Andrew Wilson. Okay, first of all, why are we hearing about this now? Okay,
right.
Why are we hearing about this now? If that text message is real, if it really does exist, wouldn't you want to put that out immediately? Because
it's so tiresome. Because, like, literally, all you have to say to any of this is, so what? What does any of that show? Just saying it seems weird. Okay, yeah, it seems weird. So what? Literally, so fucking what? What is your claim? What do you think any of this means? Anna.
Because she has 100% backed the theory that Tyler Robinson was the one who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, and that he was motivated by Charlie Kirk's views on the transgender community, right? That this was motivated by left-wing hatred of Charlie Kirk. Okay, wouldn't you want to release that text message immediately then? She didn't.
Right.
She
Proves
waited.
your point.
So there's that. But also,
whoa, what do you mean proves the point? What point gets proven there? What point? What point do you think was proven? That she's a knob? Yeah, I already knew that. That she's handled this situation, like, not to the satisfaction of every person on the planet? Again, we already knew that. This is fucking rubbish. Honestly, if the standard of this doesn't improve very soon, then I'm fucking calling it. To use the line of Larry Silverstein, pull it.
Candice, I recall Erica Kirk saying in an interview that he sent no text messages saying that he feared for his life. Now, that was in the context of people speculating that he was in fear of Israel coming after him. And so she's like, no, I have his phone. He never texted anything about being in fear of getting killed. Okay, well, what changed?
Well, by Israel. But Israel and left-wing are not synonymous, are they? They're almost the opposite of one another, really.
Because now all of a sudden there's this text message that alleges that he was afraid of someone on the left trying to kill him. I don't know. That inconsistency is really weird to me and shows a little bit of dishonesty that's going to make people question.
Wow. Wife of Charlie Kirk, known lying piece of shit whilst he was alive. Can we get some lols in chat for him not being alive anymore? Lols in chat. Yeah, his wife is also a liar? Cool. Why should I care? Is Candice now a contributor to TYT? No, this is an interview rather than like a contributor bit. But they shouldn't be interviewing her like this, because this isn't them pushing back on her evil. This is them indulging her evil. You know?
Anything that, is going to be claimed moving forward. But I want to keep going because there's so much to get to. We're not going to get to all of it, but I do think this is like the super important stuff.
Oh,
now,
yeah, because there's been no fat that could have been cut from this interview so far. No, all of this has been prime stuff. Yeah, you had to leave out some of the evidence because this stuff's been so fucking good. How could you not talk about, oh, what about this thing? What about the pendant? Oh, the pendant proves it must have been, I don't know, Benjamin Netanyahu's ballsack that did it. Thank you, Antifa Vegan Boy with F. Thank you.
Now, there's the 30-06. I'm not a ballistics expert. And so I had no choice but to kind of defer to what the experts were saying. Most experts were saying, you get shot in the neck with a 30-06, there's no way that there isn't an exit wound, okay? There's no way that you don't like blow someone's head off with that. And then you have like a few people who come out and they're like, no, it could happen, totally. I mean, it's totally possible that the bullet wouldn't, there wouldn't be an exit wound. Okay, I don't know. I'm not the expert. I don't know what to believe. Then you have Robert O'Neill. If you're unfamiliar with Robert O'Neill, he's the guy, the Navy SEAL who killed Osama bin Laden. So he's a bit of a ballistics expert, okay?
Well, no, he shot a guy. That doesn't make him a ballistics expert. Like, if he is a ballistics expert, tell me his credentials on that. Don't say he shot a guy. Lee Harvey Oswald shot a guy, but given that it took fucking 3 shots to get the kill, he's not a ballistics expert. I don't think. Or maybe he didn't shoot him. It was Benjamin Netanyahu from behind the grassy knoll. Perhaps, I don't know. Now it sounds like I'm defending Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu is an evil piece of shit who should go to the Hague and be in prison forever and ever and ever and ever. But what I don't think you can realistically say is that there is any evidence that he had Charlie Kirk babbited. And babbit is now a verb, okay? Is the guy that killed Charlie Kirk a ballistics expert? I don't think so. At least not the guy that's accused of doing it. The guy who is, innocent until proven guilty and all of that, but does look quite guilty. Most legal experts seem to think it's rather a foregone conclusion that he will be found guilty, but who knows? Anyway.
He's been kind of sounding the alarm about the allegations in the official narrative, and I just want to show the audience a little piece of what he had to say on Piers Morgan.
Oh look, firstly, the fact that she's going to Piers Morgan as a source is amazing journalism there, Anna.
He takes gains very...
She's so against the establishment, everyone. Yeah, I imagine when Charlie and Erica Kirk made their vows that they were not entirely honest with one another. Although, to be fair, there's no evidence that she started fucking J.D. Vance until he was dead. So until death do us part, but she did not leave a gap. She waited, literally, she was there, waiting for the doctor to call it and give a time of death, and she was riding J.D. Vance the next second, But at least she did keep to her vows on that, as far as we're aware, technically.
Where'd that bullet come from? You don't bleed and I've shot guys closer than the camera was. And an entry wound doesn't look like that. An exit wound does. Why did his shirt move the way it did? When I've shot people, their shirts didn't move like that. And then the initial reaction was, well, he was obviously wearing body armor and it was deflection. One, no. He wasn't wearing body armor. And two, it doesn't deflect like that off of body armor. Why was his shirt moving from right to left? Why were people being interviewed saying, yeah, they came from my left to right, from his right to left?
Wow, Navy SEAL is a fucking crazy conspiracy theorist. Amazing.
Immediately shut down. And
also, that person is not Piers Morgan. This caption is a lie. That person is Piers Morgan. That person is a baddie from a Bond film or something? I'm not sure.
And then did they tear the crime scene down immediately?
If you were dismantling this precise rifle, how long would it take you to do it?
A 30-06? Well, it's going to take several minutes. I can't even remember I grew up, my first rifle was a 30-06 in Montana, and I can't remember the last time I took it apart. I could take the bolt out, clean that off, but in order to break it down to the point where you can even walk with a limp, it's going to take a solid 5 minutes, I would guess.
Okay, so I wanted you to comment on what he had to say about dismantling the weapon, because I don't think people are really paying attention to the absurdity of the claim regarding the weapon used and how Tyler Robinson allegedly dismantled it.
Well, so we are to believe that he stuck the weapon into his pants, and it...
I've got a weapon in my pants, just saying.
...was apart, okay? So he presumably had one part in his backpack and then had the weapon in his pants, but it was disassembled. And then he gets onto the rooftop and takes out a screwdriver, and they don't have footage of this, but they want you to assume that when he ducks down, he then spends time reassembling the rifle. Now, I have done a minimal amount of hunting. Yes, I have shot and killed animals. When you do that, the part that he didn't even...
Yeah, you are a cunt. Well done.
...get to is the scope, which is needed to look through. You would have to zero the scope, meaning you'd have to fire a bullet to make the scope work again. Like, think of it like as a compass. You have to zero it to make it work again. So he didn't fire a bullet to test. You can't. If you took it apart, the scope would just be completely messed up. A 30-06. I mean, it would decapitate you. There's no other way to say it. Even if you tried to pass the idea that there was some miracle and he had a steel neck, there's actually a YouTuber named Valhalla who was like, hey, let's actually pretend he had a steel neck. Let's take it at face value. And he shot from that distance a piece of steel. And it went through. Okay, so even if Charlie had a steel neck, it would have gone through. There are people who have replicated this experiment, said, I cannot get this to happen. I've done this 500 times. I'm not saying one way or the other what happened. I'm just stating that this did not happen. And even Turning Point...
Okay. I have no idea about guns. Is any of this true? Look, I'm not taking Candace Owens' fucking view on this, because she's a bullshitter.
USA, when they introduced that, they say it was a miracle. Now, the only time when they first acknowledged that it didn't go through, and this is why I do think that part of the reason they removed that footage was because it was never supposed to see the light of day. And we were supposed to assume that it went through because everyone would have made that assumption. And Terrell showed me the footage.
Okay, okay. Tell us what you saw.
That's how this started. When he called me after on the 18th, and I was like, you're acting really weird. Like, you're just acting weird. Everything you're saying is weird, Terrell. What is going on? Like, help me help you. The next day he called me on the 19th and he said, okay, I'll just show you the footage on FaceTime. And thank goodness someone on my team said, Candace, just screen record the conversation. You just don't know, just screen record the conversation. And I did. And when I looked at it, I was then even more shocked at the fact that Terrell wouldn't show this footage because there was no gore. It was the cleanest footage. We already saw him get hit by the front. So I'm going, why are you not showing this footage? It didn't go through. There's no blood. Charlie goes down to the side. What is happening here? And immediately after that, my husband gets a phone call from the COO of Turning Point USA. And they're like, did Candace record the footage? Did Candace record the footage? And I learned, and I will say allegedly here, that the reason that they were asking was because the feds were freaking out about the fact that I shared on my show that I had seen the footage, and they were saying, you need to find out if she recorded it, okay? And I wouldn't answer, because I'm going, why does it matter? One way or the other, why does it actually matter?
Okay, but that's all conjecture. We have no evidence that the feds had any such reaction. She's just saying that, and we're supposed to just take it as read. I'm not buying that for a fucking second.
And this is why it matters, because it proved that it didn't go through. So the next day, they like panicked and they just...
Also, she's saying it didn't go through. I have no idea, like... Or she's saying she's seen footage of it not doing that or whatever. Like, if this was a cover-up, why would they show you the thing, Candace? If this was him, like, why would he go to the trouble of taking the incriminating footage of it not going through, like, steal that, and then show you anyway? So they're like, what, Mossad made an exception for you? Is that the suggestion? That you're so important that they couldn't lie to you forever. They had to show you the footage because you're special.
On the same day, they panicked and they sent out a tweet. Andrew sends out this tweet and says, oh, we just now kind of wanted to announce to the world this miracle happened and Charlie ate healthy and the surgeon said it's because he's got strong bones and he eats salad and, you know, I guess he's Popeye the Sailor Man or something. And
he's so strong.
Oh, this is fucking stupid. Oh, you know what? I'm done. Once fucking Popeye the Sailor Man gets brought in. Popeye the fucking Sailor Man. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I can't be... Like, there's only so much Candace one can put up with before... I don't... Yeah, fuck this. I don't care. Yeah, they showed the video from the camera. It didn't go through, but he cropped the video so you couldn't see the video of what happened with the security team and Charlie on the floor. Right. Okay. Well, look, it could end up being that there is a conspiracy here. I don't know. And neither does anyone else. The person trying to sell you a line of bullshit, or the two people, I suppose, and this is a new low even for Anna Kasparian, I would suggest, is Candace Owens and Anna Kasparian, who are very Alex Jones-ish in their just asking questions. It's bollocks. Most of what they brought was absolute nonsense. The gun thing might have a point to it. And by the way, I'm not even suggesting the guy who's been accused of this did it. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe they've been framed. Maybe there's... I don't fucking know. I have absolutely no idea. And neither does Candace Owens. She's just trying to remain relevant. She is metaphorically humping the corpse of her late friend, quote unquote, for all of the financial betterment that it can do for her. Yeah, Candace Owens is not going to crack the case. You're quite right, Kieran. And so the fact that Anna did such a... I mean, again, this wasn't a pushback. There was no, like, questioning of her in any way whatsoever. This was fucking awful. This was fucking atrocious from Anna Kasparian. To have on this bigoted piece of shit, this conspiracy theory prick, and just allow her to spew her shit. Not just unchallenged, but actively supported by the supposed leftist host. Nah. TYT is completely and utterly cooked. It's over. The birthing person is unsalvageable at this point. Anyway, on that bombshell. Oh no, you already read that. Thank you, Marcel. Again. Did we have anything else from the... There's a new thing where you can go and see the fan thing, so I don't know why I have to... I'm not scrolling back, that's silly. Now I got all of those. Cool, okay. Well, I can then kick you all over to anyone. By the way, from yesterday, the Charlie Kirk... Oh, not yesterday, 2 days ago. the Charlie Kirk as 9/11 meme became the fucking thumbnail for the live stream. Which, you know, some people would say is insensitive, but I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I'm going to send you over to Andrew Luke, a regular in the chat. There you go. And on Twitch, who is going... Oh, is Mad Cat going? Because I think they're streaming together, aren't they? Mad Cat. There she is. Okay, I'll send you over to Mad Cat. It's the same stream, but from a different person. And I will. Oh God, they're doing Star Trek. Oh no. Oh no. I apologise profusely. I do not condone this kind of degeneracy. But what I do condone is going to bed because it's fucking midnight. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. Thank you for being a fantastic distraction from my inner turmoil, and also for getting me through some really difficult times. This community is a wonderful thing, and I do love you. Free Palestine. No pass around.